Hello, hello, hello. Here we go. All right. Write down today's date on top of this. This is 9/19. My stats book. All right. So there are five. We already talked about the different methods of data collection. That was like doing a survey or an experiment, a simulation or an observational study. But this one is about how to sample, how to pick your sample. So you've already decided, like, I'm going to do a survey. So who do you ask? There are 5 different ways to do it. The first way is called a stratified sample. A stratified sample is when members from each segment of the population are divided into subsets, and then you pick some out of each subset. So you might say, I want in my study 20 men and 20 women. And so the first thing you do is you split your people into men and women, and then you pick 20 from one and 20 from the other. Or let's say that I wanted an opinion on something I was trying to change in the high school, but I wanted to ask students. Should I only ask 6th graders? No, who should I ask? Maybe somebody from every grade, right? And do you understand that if I did a simple random sample, if I just pick somebody randomly, I could randomly get only juniors. But we want everybody's opinion, so we want to stratify it based on grades first and then take a couple from each. Okay, so this would be like maybe 2 6th graders and 2 7th graders and 2 8th graders and 2 9th graders, etc. This is called a cluster sample, the next one. A cluster is when a population is already split into groups and you pick a few of the groups and evaluate. This is usually based on location. So let's say that I wanted to find out an opinion of people in Lewiston. So I just pick one block and I ask every house on that block. Do you see how it's kind of like I'm just picking like a spot and being like, everybody right there, that's who I'm going to ask? Why is that not always a good technique? Let me put it this way. Let's say I'm asking Winona their opinion about something, and I decide I'm only going to pick one block and I'm going to ask those people. But I choose to go up to Garvin Heights Hill on the left, those really, really fancy, nice houses. Do you know what I'm talking about? I'm only going to ask them what their opinion is. How do you feel about that? Right, it's not going to be everybody's opinion. Whose opinion am I getting? The wealthy, right? I'm getting the opinion of only the wealthy. Just like when I was doing the thing where, what was it, yours with FDR, where they were only calling people with phones, right? And then everybody who didn't have a phone just couldn't answer the question. So they got it wrong. So this is based on locations. Sometimes it's a great idea, and sometimes it's not. A really good idea behind this would be like, when would be a good idea to do this? And you can also do different parts of the population. So if instead I said, look, I'm gonna ask people in Winona their opinion. I'm gonna take the Garvin Heights neighborhood, I'm gonna ask those people. I'm gonna ask some people in a trailer park. I'm gonna ask those people. I'm also gonna ask some people in some mid-range housing, and I'm gonna do that. And I'm gonna ask everybody in this mid-range housing, I'm gonna ask everybody in that trailer park, I'm gonna ask everybody in Garvin Heights. See how I'm getting kind of like a variety of that, but I'm still going by location. I'm saying all of you guys, all of you guys, all of you guys, and ignoring everybody else. So that'd be a good example of cluster sampling. Neighborhoods is my example here. Systematic is the next one. Systematic is when everybody gets a number and you choose people at intervals. For example, have you ever seen like a DWI checkpoint? Has anybody seen one of those before or heard of it? So what it'll be is outside of big cities, they will, instead of pulling over cars that are driving badly, I mean, they're gonna pull those cars over too, right? But what they'll do instead is they'll have like it's kind of like a random drug test, where what they do is they, like every 100th car they see, they'll pull over and check you to see if you've been drinking. So it's like every 100th car. Or if you were gonna do a study in this hallway, you'd be like, okay, the next person I see, I'm gonna ask about this, and then I'm gonna let 10 people walk by, and then the 11th next person I see after that, I'm gonna ask, and then let 10 people go by. You see how that's an interval? This one is a convenience sample. A convenience sample is just asking who's available. This is usually a bad technique. For example, what if I said, I want to do a study to find out if people are interested in statistics. So I'm going to ask you 5, are you interested in statistics, right? And maybe like all 5 of you say, yeah. Or you say, or maybe 4 out of 5 of you say, yeah. I'm going to have a high percentage if I talk to this class. If I talk to my statistics class about whether you've got some interest in statistics, you're probably going to say yes. Do you think your opinions match the rest of the school? No, but I'm just being lazy. I'm just asking the people in front of me. You have to think about that. Or what if I went to a Republican National Convention, and as people are walking out of the door of the Republican National Convention, I said, who are you going to vote for president? And they were like, I'm going to vote for Trump. And you're like, what? Everyone's voting for Trump today. This is crazy. Trump's going to win by a landslide. Is that accurate? No. Not 100% of voters are going to vote for him. It's not. That's because I asked the wrong people. I was just being convenient, right? Like I was just picking one location. So maybe this is like the Republican National Convention asking about voting.